Bible definition of brave. Welcome to our deep dive into the biblical definition of brave. In this article, we will explore the various perspectives and teachings of the Bible on bravery, shedding light on its definition, etymology, and practical application in today's world. By delving into the biblical stories, verses, and cultural influences, we aim to gain a comprehensive understanding of what it truly means to be brave in the eyes of God. Bravery, as depicted in the Bible, encompasses courage, faith, and reliance on God's strength. It is about facing and overcoming fear or danger to do what is right. Throughout the pages of the Bible, we encounter numerous examples of individuals who exemplified courage and stood up for their beliefs, even in the face of immense adversity. From the Hebrew and Greek perspectives to the stories of biblical heroes, we will explore how different cultures and times have shaped the concept of bravery. Additionally, we will touch on the subjective nature of right and wrong, as well as the diverse opinions that arise from interpreting the Bible's teachings on bravery. Join us as we delve into the biblical passages, uncover their wisdom, and draw insights on how we can be brave in today's world. Let's explore the Bible's profound and timeless perspective on bravery. Key takeaways: the Bible defines bravery as the act of facing and overcoming fear or danger to do what is right. Bravery is characterized by courage, faith, and reliance on God's strength. The Hebrew and Greek perspectives provide additional insights into bravery's meaning and virtue. Biblical stories and verses offer powerful examples of individuals who displayed extraordinary courage. Acknowledging different opinions and interpretations on bravery is crucial due to its subjective nature. Definition of brave in the Bible. The Bible defines bravery as the act of facing and overcoming fear or danger in order to do what is right. It is characterized by courage, faith, and reliance on God's strength. The concept of bravery is depicted through various biblical stories and teachings. Bravery in the Bible goes beyond mere fearlessness. It encompasses the willingness to stand up for one's beliefs, even in the face of adversity. Biblical examples of bravery include David's courage in facing the giant Goliath, Esther's bravery in approaching the king to save her people, and Moses' boldness in confronting Pharaoh to demand freedom for the Israelites. Throughout the Bible, the importance of bravery is emphasized, demonstrating that it is not a character trait reserved for a select few, but something that all individuals can cultivate. By relying on God's strength, having faith, and acting courageously, one can overcome fear and fulfill their purpose. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. The table below summarizes biblical definitions of bravery. Definition: description, courage, the ability to face and overcome fear, faith, trust in God's promises and guidance, reliance on God's strength, understanding that true bravery comes from God's power. By embracing these biblical definitions of bravery, individuals can find the strength to confront challenges, live with integrity, and make a positive impact in the world. Etymology of the word brave. The word brave has an interesting etymology that sheds light on its cultural and historical significance. It ultimately derives from the Latin word barbarus, meaning barbaric or uncivilized. However, in the context of the Bible, bravery takes on a different connotation and is often associated with godly virtues and principles. The biblical teachings on bravery emphasize the importance of courage, faith, and reliance on God's strength. It is not simply about facing and overcoming fear or danger, but about doing what is right in the eyes of God. Bravery, in this sense, is an act of obedience to God's will, even in the face of adversity. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. This biblical perspective on being brave highlights the deeper spiritual dimensions of courage. It is not just about an individual's strength or fortitude, but about drawing strength from God and being guided by His presence. Table: etymology of the word brave. Language etymology: Latin barbarus, barbaric, uncivilized; Hebrew, chael, strength, valor; virtue Greek nu delta rho epsilon alpha, Andrea, courage, fortitude, valor. The etymology of the word brave reveals its transformation from a word associated with savagery to one embedded with spiritual significance. This linguistic evolution reflects the biblical teachings on bravery and its elevating power when grounded in faith and obedience to God. Hebrew perspective on bravery. When exploring the Bible's teachings on bravery, it is essential to consider the Hebrew perspective. In Hebrew, the word for bravery is often translated as chael, which conveys strength, valor, and virtue. This highlights the connection between bravery and faith, as it is through reliance on God's strength that individuals find the courage to face challenges. Throughout the Hebrew Bible, the importance of bravery is emphasized repeatedly. For instance, in Joshua 1:9, God encourages Joshua, saying, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This verse exemplifies how bravery is not solely a human attribute, but is intimately linked to one's relationship with God. Furthermore, the Hebrew Bible is replete with stories of brave individuals who overcame their fears and acted courageously. The story of David and Goliath, found in 1 Samuel 17:32-33, demonstrates how bravery enabled David to stand up against a formidable opponent. These stories serve as powerful examples of how bravery, rooted in faith, can lead to incredible feats and inspire others. Biblical heroes of bravery. Biblical references: Moses, Exodus 3:11-12, David, 1 Samuel 17:32-33, Esther, Book of Esther. In conclusion, the Hebrew perspective on bravery underscores the significance of relying on God's strength and embodying virtues such as strength and valor. Through biblical teachings and stories, we gain insight into how bravery can empower individuals to face adversity, take righteous action, and make a positive impact in the world. Greek perspective on brave. In Greek culture, bravery was highly esteemed and seen as a noble virtue. The Greek word for bravery, nu delta rho epsilon alpha, Andrea, encompassed the qualities of courage, fortitude, and valor. It was exemplified by individuals who displayed unwavering resolve in the face of danger or adversity. The Greek perspective on bravery found resonance in the biblical stories, where numerous heroes demonstrated remarkable courage. One of the biblical heroes associated with bravery in the Greek perspective was David. In his famous encounter with the giant Goliath, David fearlessly stepped forward, armed only with a sling and 5 stones. Despite the overwhelming odds, David's unwavering faith in God and his courage to confront Goliath showcased the Greek ideals of bravery and valor. I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. 1 Samuel 17:45. Another inspiring example of bravery from the Greek perspective can be found in the story of Esther. When faced with the decree to annihilate her people, Esther risked her own life by approaching the king uninvited, knowing that it could result in her death. Her willingness to speak up and advocate for her people, even at great personal risk, exemplified the Greek virtues of courage and valor. These biblical heroes of bravery, among others, serve as powerful examples of how the Greek perspective on bravery aligns with the biblical teachings. Their stories inspire us to have the courage to stand up for what is right, face our fears, and rely on God's strength in all circumstances. Bible verses about bravery. The Bible is a rich source of inspiration and guidance when it comes to understanding bravery and finding examples of courage. Throughout the scriptures, we can find numerous verses that highlight the importance of bravery in the face of adversity and provide examples of individuals who exhibited unwavering faith and courage. Verse, book, chapter, verse number: Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain. Exodus 3:11-12. David said to Saul, Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. 1 Samuel 17:32-33. These verses remind us that bravery comes not from our own strength, but from our trust in God's presence and promises. They encourage us to face our fears head on and to rely on God's power and protection. Just as Joshua found the courage to lead the Israelites into the promised land, Moses overcame his self-doubt and confronted Pharaoh, and David fearlessly confronted Goliath. We too can draw strength from these examples and find the bravery within us. When we meditate on these verses and the stories of brave individuals in the Bible, we gain insights into what it means to be courageous in our own lives. We learn that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite our fears. It is an act of faith and trust in God's guiding hand, knowing that He is with us every step of the way. As we navigate the challenges of today's world, may we find inspiration in these biblical examples of courage and draw strength from the eternal truths they convey. Bravery is not limited to the heroes of the past, but is a quality that we can cultivate and embody in our own lives. By seeking God's guidance, trusting in His promises, and stepping out in faith, we can overcome our fears and make a positive impact in the world around us. Father, grandfather, minister, missionary, deacon, elder, author, welcome to our family. View all posts.